presentationally.
Paula, your view on what you've heard and how things can move forward?
Well, I think when you said that you're going to leave with a bleeding heart, that really captured my sentiments. And I think for everyone in this room, regardless of which side of the camp you stand on, people are going to leave here today with bleeding hearts, or at least with a balance of negative emotions, because that's what hatred does to us. Rwanda was one of only 2 countries that spoke out at the United Nations in December last year. I'm from Rwanda, which is a conservative country, yes, but spoke out to say that we shouldn't discriminate against people based on their sexual orientation. Because in Rwanda, we have too recently felt just how bitter the sting of that intolerance can be, because hatred is a double-edged sword. So I mean, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I can't help but wonder if this obsession that's arisen lately with whipping people up into frenzies over ideological lines of sexual orientation in this continent is really a way of distracting us from the bigger issues that we're fighting, like, you know, food insecurity, the state of our health systems, the plundering of our natural resources. Diversity will always be with us, but intolerance and hatred, that is a choice. So if we can agree that love is the fundamental basis of Christianity, if we can agree that Ubuntu is the fundamental basis of being an African, it's togetherness, it's solidarity, if we can agree that God, however you define him or her, respects free will of all human beings, then why can't we just choose love and tolerance so we can move forward and talk about the things that really matter?
Tunde-Lawal?
Gay people should, I think, in the African continent, don't rub it in our faces. We are still finding it difficult to accept that a man or a woman and a woman should kiss in public or do the other things a man and a woman should do. So please, I think you should just leave it where, I don't know if I work elsewhere in Europe or whatever, but in Africa, I think.
Okay. Yubi? Yubi?
I want to make 2 points in closing, Zainab. The first is that I must say I'm deeply disappointed with the South Africans in the audience who are supportive of the sentiments, if not the bill, that David is proposing. And the reason for that is that, and it links up with Paula's example of the Rwandese experience, we haven't yet forgotten the scars of apartheid and what it meant as black people in this country to have your humanity reduced to something else. And yet, what short memories we have, because our own experiences of being discriminated against on the grounds of race, which is analogous to sexual discrimination, doesn't somehow make people reflect on why all forms of prejudice are bad. The second point I want to put on the table in closing is to say really to David this, that I think we're in danger of being over-intellectual. We talk about, is it African, is it not African? Is their anthropological experience predating Christians' arrival or not? I don't care about those things. We're forgetting the humanity of this, David. For me, if you look at Frank and his partner, if you want to talk about my own experiences with my partners, it's the same love that you are experiencing. It's the same trials and tribulations in my personal life. I'm not harming you. All I'm asking for is to give me the private space to live a loving relationship with another person of my own choosing.
All right, well, clearly the gulf still exists between the 2 camps in this debate. Is homosexuality un-African? I hope we've shed both heat and light on this topic of being gay in Africa, thanks to our panel, our studio audience, and to you, wherever you are, for watching. From me, Zainab Badawi in Johannesburg. Goodbye.